We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Many years I had accumulated a shoulder injury due to lifting heavy weights back then. You know, this was in high school. And it's kind of interesting because recently this injury's been bothering me for many years. And recently, 2018, my brother, Dr. Boz Moreno, has suggested that I take some of his B Venom, a homeopathic solution he put together. And I was like, yeah, let me try it. Let me see what's up. At first, I was kind of skeptical to the situation, but then at the same time, with its track record, I was like, yeah, he be putting it down when it comes to homeopathic medicines and whatnot, you know, due to the history we have with each other and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, let me get some. So I end up ordering some, read the instructions, what I need to do, how much I need to illustrate within or add to my body or whatever the case may be. So over a 2-month period, I took it. I took injections from every Tuesday, so 4 times a week, 4 times a month. So I took it for 2 months, and after the second month, I noticed that my arm was not hurting anymore. The muscle had repaired itself, literally, you know, and I was like, whoa, let me start sharing this with people, you know, really start giving them an opportunity to check out what's actually involved with B Venom. So tune in. We definitely got some more exciting things. If you're interested in administrating some B Venom, check out our advertisement that we have that's supporting this podcast. Hotel. I am that I am. Some call me Heru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist, back at it again. Here with you, here about you. Tuning in, tuning up, taking some time to zap into the existence of reality of what life has given us today. If you don't know, now you know. This is You Are the Gym podcast show. Your host with the most, Heru, the modern monk. Back at it, here with you. Here to tune in with episode 106, Complex versus Simplicity. Yeah, that's complex versus simplicity. Yeah, 106, putting it down. Shout out to you. Much love. Like I said, we're live recording via Instagram, and we're live recording via audio for the new podcast show at 106, Complex versus Simplicity. First and foremost, thank you for tuning in, tuning up, downloading, commenting, following, searching, subscribing. Y'all know y'all can always reach me at youarethegym at gmail.com. You can always text me at 206-659-6382. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what's good with you. I did get a chance this week. We'll talk a little bit about that as we get more into the episode. But billion informed per day keeps the stupidity away. Let me repeat that again. This is my little saying, my little tagline. Billion informed per day keeps the stupidity away. Away. Shout out to my sponsor, Wellness and Health, my brother Dr. Boz Moreno at Method Moreno. You can get on his website. You will start hearing my ad. I do have an ad that I talked about his B Venom that's been cracking, that I've been using. His other lovely solutions that he has available for you as well to help heal the mind, the body, and the soul. The physical manifestation. His website, Dr. Boz Moreno at XYZ. Also at drbozmoreno.com. You can email my brother at support@methodmoreno@gmail.com. That's support@methodmoreno@gmail.com. As well as hit the brother on the text. If you major, hit me on the pager. Y'all remember that E40? Phone text 404, 404-462-0571. That's 404-462-0571. Those of you who want to get your mental game and your fitness game to the next level, y'all know y'all can contact me, Heru, the Modern Monk. You are the body. You are the gym. You are the gym body. You are the body. You are the mind, the body, the soul. Therefore, it needs health. It needs its exercise. It needs its work out. Like any other thing, it needs to work out. It needs to function. It needs action. You can always get me on my website, youarethegymlive.com. That's youarethegymlive.com. You got my email at youarethegym@gmail.com. youarethegym@gmail.com. Shout out to you, peace, love, and all that. You can always text me, once again, 206-659-6382. 206-659-6382. I got t-shirts for sale, the black and white tees. Yeah, white t-shirts with the black logo. Making it happen. $27 a pop. I need you to order about 50 per client. 50 per client. We need to get this circulating around the globe, if it's around the globe. On this plane, this flat plane. Let's get it in. Let's get it. Episode 106. Complex versus simplicity. Now, let's get on basis. Let's get on the same foundation here a little bit, where I'm going to be quoting or rereading from Google. I want you to hear their message, hear what's actually being said as far as what the definition of complex and simplicity actually state. Then we'll dive a little more deeper. My deep divers will dive deeper, my deep divers. I was asked a couple of days ago, actually last week, did I surf? And it's funny too, because I never surfed. I've really never been in a water type scenario or water sports, even though I do enjoy sports, water, basketball, stuff like that. Back in the day, little kids, I was in the pools, and I did learn how to swim, so I do know how to swim. I just haven't been swimming in years, literally years. I haven't been and everywhere I've been, we had some type of big water or pools or something like that, but I never really had the, I guess the ambition or the drive to even go get in the pool for some reason. Even just on a, as I've been here in Hawaii, I haven't even really had the urge to get in the ocean. I don't know why. Maybe just just where my head is at right now, what I'm thinking and what I'm doing or whatever, The only thing I have done is just step my feet up in the water, and that was just a short-lived too as well, or in the sand. But my point is really getting a more understanding of what's going on, getting in there and helping out with that particular opportunity. But I was asked if I did any surfing, even though I can see the benefit of that, because I want to start out pedal boarding. My good friend out there, shout out to you, Alex Vaughn. He does all that. He's on that pedal boarding, and I like to get into that. I like to check that out. And plus, one of the other things is with my swimming game, because I'm definitely going to be getting my swimming game up, because I'm planning on doing a few, I want to do some events, some triathlon events, and I want to, not necessarily, I want to prove to myself, but I definitely want to prove to those people, kind of showing that you can be well-rounded when it comes to like certain modalities, or when it comes to like certain sports, not even just sports, but physically using your body. You know what I'm saying? Physically using your body and how you're using your body. You don't always have to test your game. You always have to test your game. You got to see where you're at, see where you fall, and that depends too. Even with training a different martial art, or yoga, getting the flexibility game on the mobility. That's what's so cool about calisthenics, and then just adding the gymnastics elements to it. You get that more flexibility, be able to, and you can tell too with the flexibility, especially with your yoga practice, you could tell when you go in the gym and then you're doing your bench press, and you got better range of motion or range of movement. You know what I'm saying? And you're not feeling as certain things, because as you get older, this is another thing I don't think we talk about a lot in the, I guess, the more matured ventures of working out or bodybuilding and stuff, you don't talk about the wear and tear of the stuff you have. You don't really think about it, because I'm pretty. One of the things is your knees and your elbows and your different wrist work. You know what I'm saying? Some cases, you know, if your wrists are, if you're not doing any kind of activity with it or working the muscle or growing the muscle, you obviously have injuries, or you will have injuries, just like lifting a bunch of weight. So I notice when I'm lifting, even though I got the wraps, but I've been lifting heavy recently, pretty heavy, and I've been noticing, you know, the certain things, the pressure. That's one thing indicator about calisthenics, because you don't really get as injured as much unless you're doing stupid shit, trying to do handstand push-ups and you're not there yet per se, and you end up doing something and you hurt yourself, or something on that level, or shoulder mobility, shoulder situations. A lot of that happens, shoulder injuries, trying certain things, even like dips, maybe going too deep with your dips, even though it's pretty broadcasted within the gymnastic community with the going deep down on your dips, but range of motion. But my point is, you definitely don't hear too many brothers and sisters as they get older talking about certain things like that, like little injury, not necessarily injuries, but things you feel that's really, okay, this could be a potential injury in the near future if I don't get this taken care of. So I'm a big advocate of incorporating, and this come from the climbing community, or boulder community, or however you want to call it, climbing community. So I just got this pressure, and it's like 50. It's called GritProTrainer.com, and you can go get one of these, and they got like 3 options. I think it was a 20, a 30, and a 50. Something like that. A 10, it may have been a 10, 30, 10, 20, and a 50. Pressure-wise, or poundage. So you just get those. See, it builds the forearms as well, plus it helps you with your wrist mobility too, controlling of your wrist mobility. So when you got all that weight coming down on your part of your hand, all that pressure coming down, obviously is coming all up in your wrist, right? Got that wrist pressure. That's why one of the formats of having, when you're doing that press with the kettlebell, is usually you better have keeping that form. This is where you're using most of the force. Actually, most of your force are coming from that. So most of the pressure and most of the energy is coming from that, right? So, and you tend to have it's more foundational anyway, as far as pushing anything. But at the same time, you can feel it. Certain pressure, you can feel it. Okay, this is a little too heavy, or this is going to give me some type of injury later on down the line. So therefore, I'm going to start working on making it stronger, getting it more foundational, broke down. So let me talk about this. And what I'm bringing this up for, I'm talking about simplicity. Start making things more simple, because we tend to make things too complex. I'm hearing these guys on these YouTube channels, not just YouTube, but other videos and stuff. And it's interesting how we get caught up in, don't get me wrong, understand the language, but when you break it down to a simple term, to a simple understanding where people can get it, or relate it into a value associated area that the people can get it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's broke down. I get it. You get your point across, right? That's simplicity. And that's what we all want, literally, because it's literally even the so-called intelligent Mr. Bill Gates to Warren Buffett, even though they understand the language, let me break that out, because it is definitely understanding. If I go to Mexico, I got to know Spanish, right? I got to at least understand the foundation of where Spanish is coming from, just like any other language. The problem with English, we have too many meanings for certain words, and therefore, especially cultural-wise, certain people take certain things as, we take it out of context, or we take it out of content. One or the other. We doing one or the other, because it's not our original invention. I'm speaking English to you, right? Maybe you're not comprehending what I'm saying because I'm making it complex. But let me break it very simple to you. Speaking English. Hello. How are you? Let's get deep. Let's go into it. Complex. Now, I like to do this. I always like to break these down. Like I say, first and foremost, do your own research. Right? Do your own research. Do your own due diligence. I'm giving you some of my experiences that I have with these particular terms that we're talking about today, complex and simplicity, and we're going to go into the understanding of what I've been interpreted, what has been developed within my particular realm or my environment, and I want to share that with you, and hopefully it will spark some interest to at least go ahead and say, this brother actually sparked a bunch of interest. Let me go start thinking about certain things and start putting some action, right? Thinking, action, faith, all these principles. Tune in because my new book is I'm going to be finishing my new book this coming week. So, Confessions of the Mind of an Athlete. And it's based on principles that I think all athletes use, even though some of us do have some other values and certain things that dictate. That's what the uniqueness about you, the uniqueness about you. That's basically what it is. And it's just breaking down, I'm just breaking down these principles, these simple principles that I use daily in my daily habits, in my daily rituals, in my daily relationships. Those people who I want to include in my relationship key. So let's break down. Let me see. Let's go look over and check out what Google has to say about complexity and simplicity as we journey into the mind of an athlete. So let's rock it. Let's get into it. Now we're going to dive a little bit into it. Let me see. So we're going to start with complex. Consisting of many different and connected parts. Compound, composite, compounded, multiplex. Denoting or involving numbers of quantities and containing both a real and imaginary part. A group of similar buildings or facilities of the same site. A related group of emotionally significant ideas that are completely or partly repressed and that it causes psychic conflict leading to abnormal mental states or behavior. This is what we're going to talk about. This is the part we're going to, the psychosis element, the noun. Make an atom or a compound form a complex with another. So we basically going to be focusing on related group of emotionally significant ideas that are completely or partly repressed and that cause psychic conflict leading to abnormal mental states or behaviors. That's the part we're going to focus on with the complexity of the mind, the complexity of the individual, the complexity of the particular subject matter that you're engaging into or you're doing your due diligence, right? The complexities, breaking down the complexities to simplicity. So how are we comparing the two? Let's go jump over to simplicity right now. And as we dive into the deep divers, dive with me a little bit. The quality or condition of being easy to understand or do. The quality or condition of being plain or natural. A thing that is plain, natural, or easy to understand. Simplicity. I got a program I've been working with. His name is Mike Journer. I think his name is Mike Journer. He came out with this. It's called Simplicity 1.0. Simplicity 2.0 now. It's an interesting little time management tool. That's basically what I got from my experience with that particular simplicity. He called it Simplicity 1.0 something. He came off with a concept. I think he used it, or he grasped, or he stole the concept from another gentleman, but he embedded it within this. He made a program. He actually made an app that actually helped you out with your time management. It's pretty interesting because it works on the computer, and I think now they probably got a app on the phone now, but it works pretty cool on the computer. I was using it a few years ago. About a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago I was using it, and I really enjoyed it. The thing with me, I've been using less and less of my computer. I've been going more and more. Well, I've been going more and more back to the old school of the written word on some paper. You feel me? And it's been interesting too, because even with my girlfriend, I'm like, look, here's an opportunity we can actually reach out with each other on the phone. You know, not necessarily the phone, but we can use old school method of, writing the letters. Just think about it kind of takes you back if you're a reader like me or into older stuff, because I do read, some Shakespeare stuff, old stuff like that. I like a lot of the philosophy and the old Marcus Aurelius and stuff like that, the Stoics and certain things on that level. Interesting enough. But how it breaks down certain things of writing the letters, how they was writing their girlfriends or their boyfriends or whatever through the years, and had these letters all. It's interesting, but it's fun too, because it captures moments too. It captures your thinking. That's another thing to do. So I use Evernote too. That's one of the other things. Breaking down simplicity. When you're talking about like saving your notes and saving certain things, I use Evernote all the time. So that's a tip right there. Those of you who's always doing something or want to stay creative. I'm a creative type of person, so I'm always keeping notes of certain things, or I might even record. I was just talking to some brothers. Shout out to the brothers 808 Celebrity and my other brother on the beats. And Matt too, shout out to you. So we were just chopping it up about some things, even with me, being creative or staying creative. A lot of times circumstances don't allow us to really put ourselves in a situation, or we create procrastination tools or habits to keep us away from what we need to be doing. I'm a writer. I love writing. I love enjoying that, putting myself in a situation. They just opened up the library now. So now I have a place I can actually physically go and get that done. That's what I'm going to be doing today when it opens up. And it opens up pretty late. It's weird. They got some weird hours out here too, like 12 to 7. And it is the weekend, so they might even be closed knowing these folks out here. It's weird because you would think they would keep certain things like that open for people who are really... I get it with the homeless and stuff like that, but that's why it needs to be more structured where people can actually start enjoying their moments. You got the little coffee there, you got the tea options, you got the cannabis option there, and you actually ciphering. You know what I'm saying? That's what the library... Well, I think what the library was originally intended for. It was intended for brothers and sisters to kind of conversate, go into deep thought with certain particular publications back in the day. Because, back in the day, people's libraries was the shit back in the day. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't all bullshit what we got now. I'm talking about some real titles, some thought, some futuristic thinking back then. Not necessarily futuristic, but what was going on within the culture, within the mindset of the people, the psyche, especially then, even though you do have certain people's who's making it happen, but at the same time, it's an understanding. So let me go get a little deeper in this a little bit, and I might even come back on this. This might be a part 2, because one of the things about complexity, we definitely have a lot of things going on, or we make things going on that are really not important. I don't think that's really important, because we just make choices, right? We make choices 24/7, 7 days a week. I'm making a choice right now to speak my mind about, episode 106, complex versus simplicity. And the one thing about it is, see, to be successful or to you have to set yourself up for success. You know what I'm saying? You know, like certain habits or certain distractions are going to get you distracted from what you need to do. Therefore, set yourself up. Okay, I got this much paper here. I'm going to be writing on this. I'm going to set myself up here. Like for right now, I'm in a doozy right now. And this is what I do love about opportunity. I can sit here right now because I'm running the show. I don't got nobody telling me how long I can go, what I need to be doing, this and that. But at the same time, I'm able to take the time to really understand what is the purpose here. What is the purpose, right? The purpose is actually recording or establishing a legacy, not just for myself, but for other people to actually use this information for the time when the time comes for them, their step, their time in history. Because this, hopefully, with this information that's been given on this platform, have enabled you to start taking more control of your life. Stop making excuses. Stop putting off shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to finish my book. I've been wanting to finish my book since 2016. It's time to finish it. It's time to get it done. Get it out there. Even though I got other books you can purchase right now. How to Take Possession of Your Own Mind. Heru's Focus Points. The top 5 DIY fitness equipment you need to have in your home right now. All them books are available for you right now at Amazon.com. Heru Aman. Put that in the search engine. But I'm going to keep creating. I'm going to keep developing. I'm going to keep developing value to give people great. When you listen to my music or when you listen to my lyrics, hopefully the lyrics is actually educating you or extracting thoughts that you can think about that will help you build a more self-sustainable mindset, self-sustainable living, self-sustainable relationships. Because you definitely have to include, like I said, make things simple. Create boundaries. Develop boundaries within your relationship so you can be able to talk about certain subject matters that I think are important, but we ignore them. Kind of like the abandonment situation. I want to talk about that too. You know, because we tend to have these abandonment issues and then we try to pinpoint them on every aspect of life too. Something to think about. Look, this is going to be a short one, but I'm going to come back with a part 2. I'm going to follow up on 106 complex versus simplicity. So I'll be back with you. I got to get some things done before I go deep into the beyond. So bear with me. Shout out with you. Much respect. Tune in. Like me, do whatever you got to do, subscribe. Hey, it helps me out with the algorithms, even with the YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? If you want to take it in that part, I'm not really tripping, but we can keep it pushing. Thank you for all those who are listening, who are tuning in, who are opening up. Shout out to you, much love. I'm out of here. Peace.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.